Christmas Song Showdown!
Welcome, Memorial Road. We're so glad you could join us today as we have once again reassembled our expert panel of song analysts. You may remember earlier this year when we totally overshadowed March Madness by breaking down our favorite church hymns in bracket style. Well, we're back to do it again. It's Christmas season, and that means lots and lots of Christmas music is filling the airwaves and filling church houses around the nation. And so we wanted to resume the madness and break it down bracket style once again. I want to introduce our panel today, starting over here on my far left, our worship minister, the esteemed Scott Young. Glad to have you here, Scott. Thanks for joining us. To my left, my immediate left, Josh Kincaid, our education minister, and also one of our song leaders, and so he is definitely a worthy participant and a credentialed participant on our panel today. Glad to have you, Josh.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here. To my immediate right is a new participant in our panel and our resident office Grinch. We thought it would be wise to bring Stephanie Anderson in today to help break down the field of contestants. Stephanie, for years, has been touting her extreme hatred of Christmas and all the music that accompanies it, and so we're glad to have Stephanie here on today's panel. Thank you, Stephanie. And then on my far right, once again joining us, representing the Summit in today's panel, Brian Plum, one of our youth ministers. Thank you for your appropriate seasonal attire today, Brian.
Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. Well, let's get right into it, guys. We've got a field, once again, of 16 finalists, labored over, a lot of deliberation by our committee, our selection committee, and so we have 16 songs. It's a mixture of the sacred and the secular. And so I want to know about the field. How do you assess this year's field in our Christmas Song Showdown? Were there notable omissions? Is there anyone in the field that doesn't belong? Any seeding errors that you see? Let's have it.
I got to start with the Christmas song. I mean, why is it here? Can you think of a more blandly named song than just the Christmas song? And then you look at the contents. Anybody here roast chestnuts on an open fire anymore?
Nobody roasts.
When's the last time you went to a Christmas party dressed like an Eskimo? This song caters to nostalgia. Did you really do that? I remember that.
It
was awkward.
It was.
But I mean,
culturally insensitive, actually, Scott.
This song caters to nostalgia. I mean, it harkens back to times when you could leave your kid by himself while you flew to Europe and no one would break into the house. I mean, this does not reflect reality.
Well, that's happened to the best of us. Yeah. Anyone else? That's a good point, Josh.
I was frustrated. That a couple didn't get in.
Okay.
Willie Nelson's Pretty Paper didn't get in. I don't know how that got snubbed. It's one of the best songs.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's
and then Mariah
kind of a dark
Carey's,
horse. Yeah.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. I'm a huge Mariah fan.
Modern classic.
Yeah.
Modern classic. Yeah.
If you tune into a Christmas 104.1 right now, it's on.
It was better when it was first recorded. Recent renditions have not stood the test of time.
You're right.
Recent performance is just not as impressive.
Right.
I think that may have kept it off the list.
Baby, It's Cold Outside not?
Well,
I think we've got speaking of modern, we've got a pretty modern answer to that question, I think, actually. Speaking of songs that have not aged well, Baby It's Cold Outside might fall into that category. So, anyone else? Stephanie, what are your observations about the field? Any?
Bah humbug.
Just to the whole thing.
Yeah,
Don't like any of them.
None of them.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fair enough.
I mean, we saw that coming.
We did. Probably fair enough. Scott, anything you wanted to point out?
Well, on behalf of Stephanie, I don't know how Blue Christmas doesn't make this. We'll have a Blue Christmas.
Here's your Blue Christmas right here.
Wow. A lot
Blue
of stuff boiling below the surface there, Stephanie.
Elvis's Blue Christmas has to make this list. I know we're not using artists, but his rendition of Blue Christmas is enough to put it on the list.
Just because Elvis did it, huh?
Just because Elvis.
Okay. All right.
Well, this is obviously a church bracket. Memorial Road is kind of the main audience for this. And so one question that I've got is the kind of implicit bias that you might have towards those songs that are deemed, sacred. The Silent Nights and the Oh Holy Nights and Come All Ye Faithfuls, all of those kinds of songs. How do you see that playing out as the tournament goes along? Do you think, I tried to address this in my introduction to the bracket last week. I encouraged people and told them, I've got it on pretty good authority that your Book of Life standing is not going to be negatively affected should you vote for a secular song over a quote-unquote sacred one. But yet early returns suggest that there might be some bias in there. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I'm looking at these matchups so far, and in most of them, the sacred song is winning, which is maybe a harbinger of what's to come with the voting. Not across the board, but almost all of these, the sacred song seems to be winning. For instance, Joy to the World, with a strong lead over Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You like that song, don't you, Brian? Yeah.
That song, it doesn't get played enough at Christmas, but it's really catchy. Joy to the world, all you boys and girls.
Oh, we're with that one.
Joy to the...
No.
It's such a
Hard
good
pass.
song. I haven't even heard
Hard
it
pass.
this whole
Three Dog-
season.
Not Three Dog.
No,
There's
not
a
the-
reason you haven't heard it, and the reason is it's terrible.
Is it? I think we're talking about a remix.
It's just common misconception there on a Three Dog Night recording of the same name. That's okay, Brian. That's all right. All right. You'll justify your presence on the panel in other ways. That's okay.
Let me, the 10 seed, Oh Come All You Faithful, you noticed, knocked off the 7 seed already.
The only upset in the first round,
Right.
as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which speaks pretty loudly. I think whether it be conscious or subconscious, we've got a group of believers here voting on these songs,
That's
and
right.
that doesn't bode well.
Faithful believers.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah, I was noticing, you know who performed well in the first round?
What's that, Andy?
Jesus did.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus did. Santa, not so well. Santa did
so
not
well.
perform so well, and we may see that playing out in rounds to come.
It's frustrating
Also.
with Rudolph. I mean, he's already been called names. He's already been the underdog, and then you get 177 to 55 votes.
Just a total trouncing.
Oh, my goodness. Was it?
That's
How'd you
right.
feel bad for him?
It-
I know.
Yeah, absolutely. He's endured a lot.
Well, and
Yeah,
he's
done a lot.
embarrassed. You can tell by looking at him.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, what about, I wonder about a song like We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Is it sacred? Is it secular? It kind of bridges that divide. I mean, Good Tidings to you begins to sound, I don't know, biblical,
Okay.
even though it's
Good
not.
Tidings,
But
absolutely.
the problem with that song is it starts strong. I mean, it looks really appealing. It's got a good start. And then you get to phrases like figgy pudding. And when that happens, I'm out. You know? I
Not
mean,
theological.
it appears appealing, but then it's not really. It's, I don't know, like if you looked at a really good bottle of Dapper aftershave, it looks good, but like when you put it on your face, it's it hurts, you know?
Yes,
You just don't want to do
absolutely.
that.
Seeing a theme emerging in your commentary, Josh, absolutely. And the demand for figgy pudding is off-putting.
Yeah, it is.
So to speak.
Now bring us. What kid could say that in
Yeah.
any other context?
Yeah, that's
and it'd
right.
be considered
That's right.
festive.
That's not how I raised my kids.
We
No.
won't go until we get some. Which is,
now it's a
which is
protest.
That's just-
selfish, right.
It is
It's a
selfish.
Selfish, it's belligerent.
Yeah.
It's not a Christian ideal at all.
No.
consumerism at its finest.
And yet it did squeak out a narrow victory.
Yeah.
It was easily the tightest matchup of the first round, just edging out Santa Claus Coming to Town. And so, maybe the fact that it's a caroling staple. I mean, there is nary a caroling session that doesn't conclude with a rousing
right.
chorus of
Yay.
We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Stephanie, where
It's
do you fall?
abhorrent.
It's abhorrent. Okay. Absolutely. That seems clear where you stand on that.
said.
All right.
Yep,
Thank
well
you.
said.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I wondered if it would come up is kind of a minor scandal brewing with the song Jingle Bells. Some have pointed out that Jingle Bells is actually a bit of an imposter on this list. It was written for the Thanksgiving holiday, you may recall, rather than the Christmas holiday, and yet it has kind of wormed its way into the 9 seed here and definitely a prominent place in the Christmas canon. And so I wondered if that would come back to bite it, and maybe it did. Hark the Herald Angels Sing roundly thumped it. Any thoughts on that?
It makes
Potential
sense to me,
yeah.
Andy. I think that ranking makes sense to me. I think it deserves to be beat. I mean, a song that's an ode to bells, not that great.
Not that great.
Holiday excrement.
Excrement.
Yes.
Excrement.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. That's good. That's
That was
good.
a pretty solid beating in an 8 and 9
Yep.
seed too.
Yeah.
Usually that's a little tighter contest.
I wonder if the way that the kids have just completely destroyed Jingle Bells with their Batman versions and things like that. Do you think that's really pushed it down?
Maybe
Because
so.
I kind of get sick of those.
Absolutely. It kind of disrespects the
Yeah,
original intent of
yeah.
the song. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
and
right.
who knows if Batman smells really? Well, I don't know that.
That's true. That's hearsay.
It is.
Hearsay
It
at
is.
best.
It's slander to Batman.
That's absolutely right. And we're not going to have it.
No.
I think that's what the voters are saying.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
agree.
going to have
I
it.
agree.
What's going to happen from here on out? I want to hear how this tournament is going to play out in your eyes. Any predictions going forward?
Yeah, Oh Holy Night's going to win.
All the way.
Strong
All the
prediction
way to
this
the
early.
title.
Okay.
That is
We're going
early.
all the way.
What makes you say that, Scott?
Well, it's
Why that
just-
song?
It's a favorite. I mean, look at that. Look at that first round win. 191 votes.
Jesus beating Jesus in a head.
Jesus
That's right.
Beating Jesus in the 2 and 15 seed. I think they're going all the way. They've got everything it takes to go win this whole thing.
Okay. Soaring vocals,
Soaring vocals,
dramatic.
lyrics, everything it takes.
Okay.
Oh Holy Night.
Oh, Holy Night going all the way.
I'm going to go with the unholy song and go with White Christmas.
Okay.
I really think, all this conversation around these songs of faith and tradition, I think White Christmas might sneak through.
So you think Bing Crosby's going to rise up?
He's everywhere, yeah.
He is pretty ubiquitous this
yeah.
time of year.
Well, but
Absolutely.
it's also unfair advantage. I mean, it's got a movie associated
That
with
is
the
true.
song, a
That is
classic
true.
movie,
Absolutely.
part of many people's holiday traditions, and so, when you've got a movie associated with your song, you've got a pretty
Well,
strong.
Oh Holy Night has a whole book.
Okay, fine.
Think about it.
That's a fair point. Fair point. Stephanie, what's your pick?
I pick We Rule Out Christmas. Veto Christmas. No more Christmas.
Stephanie's, she may need to visit Will. She may need some counseling.
You really, our members actually do get some free counseling services each year with Will Mix. Seems like some deep-seated issues that you might need to explore a little bit, Stephanie.
She's doing her Grinch face right now.
kinda
Might
is.
have some pent-up frustration or anger. Maybe
We'll look
I'll
in-
give Will a call.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
We'll look into that. I'm a little concerned about you, Stephanie. Josh, what's your call? What's your pick?
I won't be surprised if Oh Holy Night wins. I do look at this initial matchup, and I wonder if the ambiguity of the tune for Away in a Manger helped contribute to its defeat. You've got two tunes. One is probably a little more well-known than the other, but I don't look at this stomping in the first round as necessarily indicative of how well Oh Holy Night's going to do once it's matched up against another song with just one tune. So I think it's probably, for me, between Oh Holy Night, and I wonder if Hark the Herald Angels Sing had a pretty strong victory in this first round too. But I think where that song's going to get hung up is the chorus. I mean, it is just one syllable strung out. You don't know where to breathe.
It's lazy lyricism.
It is, and I feel like a lot of people start that song strong, and just halfway through they're done.
Everyone's just kind of on their own thing. It
starts strong and ends bad. It's like
kinda,
it's like crawling out of a treehouse on a rope, and someone cuts it halfway, and you just slide and hit the house.
Yeah, a lot of warbling when we sing
Yeah.
that song.
Yep.
Absolutely. Scott, looks like you're wanting to jump in here on that.
Which song are we talking about?
Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
The chorus of that is, give me a little bit of that chorus. Hark the herald angels sing.
If I got the wrong song, maybe I got
it's
the wrong
Angels
song.
We Have Heard on High.
Oh,
Look, see, all these songs about angels,
Well, look,
they
that's
get me
just too many.
confused.
I know, it's
Maybe
fine.
that
It's
means
way
this
too
song's
many.
going to lose.
That's
so
why I do what I do.
maybe a hidden, like a weakness there. It's similarity to other
That's
songs. It's
true.
getting confused for other
It's
Christmas
two
tunes.
songs you
Fooled
pair
me.
together.
Fooled me.
You
About
frequently
angels
pair
singing.
together.
Medley.
Yeah.
Medley.
It is,
It's a good medley.
that could make a good medley one of these Sundays coming up,
It-
Scott.
Maybe it will next.
I'm going to take Joy to the World. I think Joy to the World, the non Three Dog Night
There you
version,
go.
actually, in a bit of a surprise. I think it's going to go all the way. Strong showing, beating beloved but beleaguered Rudolph in the first round. I think it's exuberant. People like a cheerful Christmas tune, present company accepted. And I think that Joy to the World may have a chance to ride that exuberance all the way to the title. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Stephanie, thank you for joining us despite your very apparent disdain for this entire discussion and exercise to begin with. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day.
Yeah, pleasure having you with
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. All right, very good. All right, well, you know what to do. The second round voting is open starting today, and so the final 8 songs are there for you to weigh in on. In about 3 weeks' time, we will know who the champion is. We will know the most popular Christmas song according to the Memorial Road church family. We appreciate you voting. Get out there and vote in our Christmas Song Showdown. Thanks for listening. Hope this helped you evaluate this year's contenders. Signing off.
Christmas Song Showdown!